Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play FrogComposband. We're still crawling around, dungeon crawling as a centipede. Which might be the truest form of dungeon crawling, actually, now that I think about it. And, well, what happened? We're in the main Angband dungeon on level 23. I've actually been down to level 27, which is my current character level, so I did level up one more time since last episode. I'm actually getting pretty close to level 28, which is why I'm resuming now. Still a bit over 1000 experience, which can go pretty quickly depending on what you encounter for enemies. And I have had some pretty interesting encounters in here. My inventory is also completely full, of course. I found a couple of interesting things. I found a Staff of Identify with 20 charges, twice as many as my previous one. I lost yet another wand of Confuse Monster, unfortunately, in some... I don't know, what was it? I think it was actually some sort of lightning creature? What was it? I don't know, some cloud golem, perhaps? Pretty tough thing, actually. Seemed a bit out of depth. I have the corpse of an elite that I killed, which I should probably hold on to because those often give you pretty good stuff, like speed potions, which we still have a decent number of. Heroism. Did lose a couple of potions earlier from some random frost bolt, which is always very annoying, of course. Right, I did get those potions of new life. Oh, actually I have mushrooms of fast recovery. Why did I auto-pick those up? I mean, they are nice to have. I don't know that I necessarily need them. I guess it's something to just use up, but yeah, my inventory. Well, those potions of new life, I don't know, I feel like that's something I constantly remind myself. Changes your life rating and max of all your stats and cures all mutations. Okay, so it's a way to cure a mutation if you don't have another way to do that, but it does potentially mess up your stats. I guess it's something that's good to use if several of your max stats and your life rating, perhaps, are relatively low. Because then there's a decent chance that you'll actually improve your stats. I'm sure that's a thing that experienced players will be using to great effect. And I don't know. It does strike me as something that's maybe not completely necessary unless you're really intent on winning the game, or on, you know, tackling maybe even tougher challenges than just the main boss. I'm sure there are crazy people out there who do those kinds of things. I think I'm just going to drop those. Yes, please. Both of them. Right, equipment. Oh yeah, I did pick up, let's see here, I did find the Ring of Cosmo, which at first I didn't know had sound resistance. That was unidentified until I was randomly hit by something using sound. That also happened. And yes, ever since then I know it resists sound. It's the second instance of See Invisible, which is nice. It does give some combat bonuses and +5 armor. So I did, for the time being, exchange that for my ring with electricity resistance. I don't know. I guess in hindsight maybe I shouldn't have, because that's what ended up destroying my wand. But sound can destroy stuff as well. It definitely destroys potions very effectively. I don't know if sound can also destroy other things, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what else? We have Boots of Speed, yeah. And for those, I unequipped, I guess, those Metal Shot Boots of Free Action, which are also decent, but we have several instances of free action, so really all I lost there was... Did I even lose some armor, or... No, I actually gained armor a little bit. I lost some combat bonuses, though, so once again... Yeah, our combat stats are attack damage is 17, 17, 43, so it's just been hovering around that. And honestly, for some of the tougher elites, they're starting to take quite a few hits, and I really don't have any kind of strats or any kind of yeah, any kind of strategies in combat other than for tougher things, drink speed and heroism, and then just keep attacking and hope for the best. Until lately, until recently, rather, I had my confused monster, but I've also been encountering a couple of things, a couple of mini bosses that were just straight up immune to that, annoyingly. So even that is no longer necessarily a guaranteed win, or a way to guarantee a win. We do have +5 baseline speed now with those boots. That is nice. And +15, of course, with the speed potion. That helps. But yeah, a bit more damage would be nice, of course. Right, I did find a staff of... I guess I did find another staff of teleport. Pretty sure I have one in my stash. So I decided to rather take a stack of potions until I have a way to protect my staffs. But I figured I might as well take that with me and, you know, stash away another one. And I also have the Staff of Curing, which of course is just as potentially fragile as the other staffs, but it's... well, as long as I have it, I'm going to use it for my curing purposes to save on potions. Although we do have 18 of those, which is also good. Yeah, but that's pretty much the situation here. The plan is just to stick around, hover around these couple of levels here, as I have been doing for a little while now. And yeah, basically keep going until I hit level 28. And then we'll probably just head out of here. I mean, I kind of just need to head out anyway to, you know, sort out the inventory. Stash away some things that I'm not ready to get rid of quite yet. You know, that kind of thing. We'll see, with any luck. That was a bit needlessly risky. With any luck, we might just level up here. Pseudo-dragon is not tough, no. I'm blind. Is it not tough? I've killed it. So I guess it wasn't tough. Not tougher than me. Oh yeah, right. You might have noticed that I'm quite rich. 118,000 at this point. In fact, didn't I used to have 120,000? I'm pretty sure I saw that number at one point. What happened there? How did I lose money? I mean, I know thieves will steal from you, but I don't think I encountered a thief recently. Odd. Maybe I'm just wrong? I guess that has happened before? Well, I suppose that's also not a huge difference either way, but... Okay, we are below 1,000 experience required, so that's nice. Let's just detect. Okay, hold on. A fire giant. Ooh, that's a bit scary, and by a bit scary I mean very scary, actually. What else do we have? Large gray snake should be a problem. It's definitely not a problem, in fact. Wolves aren't a problem. This thing is probably not too bad. The red dragon bat. Well, anything that uses fire is always scary, obviously. That is true for this thing as well. We do have resist heat and cold, which helps a little bit at least. Door burst open, okay. I don't know if... I think the main door to this room is either on the left or right side, or maybe it's on both? Oh, but it's the wolves that opened the door, huh? Not the fire giant. That one's still inside. So are the wolves gonna break out of that inner room? I guess I can just tunnel in there. Okay, no, they opened the door. Something did. I guess I can find out. Yeah, it's the wolves, okay. Everything else hasn't moved yet. I have been digging a lot. That's partially why I have so much money. And every now and then you find one of those green dollar signs, which is emeralds, I believe. Would make sense. And those are usually worth, or are usually worth several thousand gold at a time. Some other ones, like I think dark blue is also usually worth like maybe 1,000 something, 1,000 to 2,000 or so. Everything else tends to be just, well, most of the stacks you find are obviously just, you know, 100-ish. Okay, one of my scrolls was destroyed because I'm just not paying attention. I did slay the weapon, didn't I? Yeah, okay, at least that. Yeah, let's definitely start with that, yes. Why would I not want to quaff that? Does that really need to be exclamation pointed? You know what? Since we're about to be facing a giant and I hate anything that breathes fire at me, another scroll of teleportation was destroyed, okay. And my staff of curing was destroyed. My god. And that was just a stupid bet. Well, I don't even know that I got to use that staff a single time. So that's wonderful. What's this? Hey, more words of recall. Great. Yes, we knew there was a door there. Let's just heroism. We're mostly healed. I did lose some constitution not too long ago. So that was a bit annoying, but whatever. Word of recall. That's fine. We can definitely lose several of those. Oh, we have scrolls of teleport level as well. Why am I so blind to these kinds of things? I don't need those. I don't think. Anyway, let's kill this guy first. Okay, we've slain him. We get nothing useful out of it. And that was that. Alright, was it worth it? I mean, I guess it was worth some experience. But obviously, fighting these things has cost me quite a few scrolls mostly, and, well, the staff. That's just unfortunate. Why don't we read teleport level? What's that gonna do exactly? Up through the ceiling. Do they always move you up? Is it just a way to escape? But I mean, or to ascend quickly? No, wait, but it just brought me one level up. Right? Somehow I saw the number 3 from 3 scrolls remaining, and my brain turned that into I teleported up 3 levels, which is not true. So, yeah, I don't know. We got Augrelons. I haven't fought Augrelons yet, but they don't seem too tough. I don't know if they're tougher than regular ogres, which I have been fighting a few of. But I don't think either of those throw boulders, and that's really the main thing I'm worried about with large humanoids. Druid can be a little bit annoying. He's up there. Okay. Alright, didn't do anything nasty, I like that. Oh, okay, wow, that was a lot of potions of resist heat and cold? What were we down to? 8 or 7? Now we're at 15. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. But actually, yes. Okay, so something created these random traps over here. Okay, that one too. Huh? Was it the druid? But that wasn't even in his line of sight. I have no idea. Not a clue. Does it matter? Nah, not really. Jingasa. Oh yeah, I did find an artifact earlier, but it was a weapon, and since my inventory was so full... Actually, I mean... Okay, we definitely don't need Scrolls of Light. I don't see the point necessarily of having these Scrolls of Teleport level. What else? Okay, the fast recovery mushrooms. I should just eat them before I throw them away. Just use them against something that's somewhat tough. I just keep forgetting. I don't know, it's not... It's something I sometimes do, but not... not regularly enough, I guess. I mean... Realistically, am I going to use the amulet that gives me just fire resistance and nothing else? I mean, I guess arguably I should have been using it instead of what I am using. But that does give me disenchantment resistance, which is... Well, yeah, I mean, arguably I'm not really encountering anything that disenchants at this level. But the real reason why I want to keep using it is the light radius. It's just so convenient. Just one extra point of light radius, I feel like, is such a huge quality of life improvement. That probably does not justify losing all the items to fire damage that I am losing, but... Well, I guess I'm also not changing anything. Still taking that thing with me though to put in my home and never actually use. Oops, sorry, zombie kobold. I didn't even know you existed before you stopped existing. Wait, how do you? Oh, there's a path that I just didn't take. Well, oh right, the Ogrelons, of course, they're a thing. I guess they like dropping equipment. Equipment. Oh, that's just this one room, which does have a trap. Oh, okay. Got giant yellow scorpion, apparently is the most dangerous enemy in here, according to the game. Well, the highest level anyway. Ogrelons, hill orcs. Nothing that seems particularly worrisome. Is this room gonna level me up? Not quite, I think. Pretty close though. Okay, 264 remaining. Surely the next level. Scimitar Armageddon. Is that an artifact? Or why is it not getting destroyed? Because I definitely destroyed ego equipment in the past. Oh. Jumping fireball. Don't do it, but I was too close anyway. One scroll of teleportation, that's fine. We have plenty. That's exactly why we have so many. Let's tunnel this thing. See? That's... Oh, it's adamantite. It's not sapphires at all. Wait, what did I... No, emeralds. Is that what I said? Because that's what I meant to say, I think. But maybe emeralds also exist. Either way, that was a decent amount, I guess. We're up to 124k. Do we go further down again? Level 24? I mean... Sure, why not? Should also fully rest. Door burst open. Okay, we're fully rested enough, I would say. One trap. Ooh, hello. Okay, well, those are definitely enough, right? We got a cocoa and some cold vortexes up there. Cold vortex is definitely going to shatter half of my potions. There's no way around it, unfortunately. Like, ogres sounds kind of nasty, but they're really not so bad. Do we level up? 29 XP remaining. We do. I evolved into a giant clear centipede. Ooh, wait. That means I'm technically invisible? That might give me some sort of advantage. You'd think it would. Do we have... Wow, okay, we have two extra ring slots and an extra boot slot. Honestly, I was wondering, or I was kind of just idly musing about the idea of having maybe more than 2 ring slots, and, you know, how nice that would be for this character specifically. But it didn't even occur to me to think that that might actually happen. I thought, I mean, 2 rings is just all you get for, you know, normal characters. Of course, this is not a normal character, but it also doesn't necessarily make sense that you can suddenly wear more rings. I mean, more feet makes sense. I mean, obviously, for a centipede, you should be able to wear a lot more than even 4 pairs of boots, but sure, okay. But the ring slots, where do we even wear the rings? Over our antennae, or what? Or who knows? But I guess I'm not complaining. I should probably focus on this Coco thing, though. Oh, easy one shot. Never mind. Let's not focus on that. Let us put on this ring. And I guess those boots. Until we have something better. For now, it's... Wow, we have 81 armor. Nice. I mean, that's in large part due to the ring giving us an extra 9, of course. Or giving us those back that we used to have. Kind of wish I could wear another amulet as well, but maybe with the next evolution. Okay, let's also actually see what's going on here with our character. We do have an extra point of speed, as expected. A giant clear centipede. We resist things. Notably, still no acid, fire, or cold. But surely now, with an extra ring slot, we should be able to cover those. Speed. I mean, yeah, that is increased. 3 times free action, 2 times see invisible. Infravision. So, no new intrinsics. Is invisibility a thing? I mean, see invisible is, of course, but... Okay, our damage has significantly improved to 22, 21, 62. There is actually, for once, a difference between the bite and sting damage. Yeah, one is 1d7, one is 1d6. But the crawl is also 1d7, and yet average damage, I guess, is 62 for some reason. It's just a number of blows per round, I guess. It's 2.8 blows per round, whereas sting and bite are exactly 1. Okay. That's just how it is. Yeah, anyway, clear enemies, like clear... Well, centipedes, clear centipedes are a thing, are an enemy that you encounter. There are also clear mushroom patches and clear icky things, and clear hounds, pretty sure, are a thing. Those are all invisible, although I suppose only lightly invisible enemies. Just kind of hard to see. And I don't know how that would or even could be reflected in a player character. Like, if invisibility is not a thing outright, it's not an attribute that you can have, you'd think that it would be with abilities, right? Surely it must be. If it exists. Then maybe it's just a general boost to dodging attacks to... Well, would that not be AC? Actually, I don't know. Or to saving throws in general. Let's just assume that it helps in some way. Maybe it's just literally another, you know, flavor and not particularly meaningful. You're gonna blow up. Do I drink a potion of resist heat and cold just to protect my other potions? I guess so. It concentrates on its wounds. And I just destroyed the thing without it even doing anything. I suppose vortices don't blow up into their element. They just breathe it at you. And that one didn't. Okay. Anyway, priest is dead. I guess it was the priest that healed itself. I don't know why it was damaged in the first place. Huh? You teleported past me. Interesting choice. Words of recall. Did I say that I wanted to leave immediately? I mean, I suppose, yeah, but also now we have some more room in my inventory, which was the main reason I wanted to leave. And also, surely we're at least going to finish exploring this floor, which is a very interesting floor, it turns out. Wow. Lots going on, like lots of special rooms. We got Sand Dwellers down there. We do have Earth Hounds, which is bad because acid. The Ranger summon stuff, that's also nasty. Jumping Fireball blows up in my face and destroys things. And of course the Resist Heat and Cold is extremely short-lived and already expired, so that's annoying. We do have the doors in the middle here, right? We sure do. Can we kill this guy before he ever wakes up? Basically, yeah. Okay, a good quiver. Wait. Why did I... Oh, I destroyed it. Okay. Thought I picked it up. I mean, this thing is just going to blow up. And it's going to be very sad. No, I'm going to have to do the same thing that I did earlier, except this time it actually did explode, but it didn't destroy anything. So, surely without the potion it would have. So it was worth using. We can eat a ration of food whenever we're not hungry. Might as well. I have not actually eaten a single one of my actual potions. My actual rations in... Well, ever since I started playing, ever since I started grinding in this dungeon here. And, of course, I've also been keeping my lantern pretty much topped off at all times. Just by refueling it with the occasional lantern. Lose memories, great. Lantern or actual flasks of oil that I've also been finding every now and then. Okay, did we get anything good out of that? Hard to say. We still have the potion, the mushrooms of fast recovery, of course. Oh, we did find another ring of archery. I did find one earlier, by which I mean a little while ago. This one's cursed as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that obviously makes it absolutely terrible. The one that I found earlier was actually really, really good. Well, I mean, I suppose the bonus always looks big because archery bonuses are just bigger than melee, I suppose, to offset the fact that archery does cost a resource, whereas melee attacks are free, so it makes sense. Either way, we can't use any range attacks, so even a good archery ring is useless to us. Needless to say, the same is even more true for a cursed version. Okay, it was also not a particularly great haul of adamantite. I swear I've seen them drop like 7,000 before. Anyway, we're up to 131,000 gold. I mean, that would buy us a couple potentially nice things. You know what? Yeah, let's actually head out of here. I could literally hang out here forever. Well, until something surprises and kills me. But, you know, theoretically. Got a random shop here. I mean, it's just a general store, though. but I'm curious if it has anything the normal shop doesn't. It does have mushrooms of fast recovery. Well, one of them. Okay. Random, but that's okay. Huh? Oh, that's the wrong button. It happens. Now, I think I was actually on my way to somewhere. To some other town, but it's been a couple of days, and so obviously I don't remember. I did just get hungry. Yeah, I mean, I think actually when I ended the previous episode, where was that? What was I doing? Oh no. I mean, I don't know where it was, but the plan at the time was to travel to the other towns, and it might have actually been here. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I was standing in some town, and you know, kind of complaining about the fact that we're so unpopular that teleportation costs a fortune, and I didn't have a fortune back then. I kind of do now, I suppose. So even if I pay 1,000 per teleport, it wouldn't hurt nearly as much anymore. But yeah, I was preparing to do a bit of a manual tour of the world to check some shops for interesting things, and well, I ended up finding a ton of good things just by grinding in the dungeon that I happened to be near, and decided to just enter before finishing my round, I suppose. Anyway, we want to rest for the new day, and we want to eat and drink. Okay, let's see here. I mean, I could literally just put on a ring of fire. Obviously, it would be nice to have one that doesn't have just fire resistance. There might be something... Oh, Wand of Resistance, Confused Monster. Wait a second. That's pretty good. Wand of Resistance. I like the idea of that, for sure. In fact, I like it so much that I'm just going to get that right away. Yes. Just what the doctor ordered. Right, I should also turn in that corpse. Can you even do that here? Can you? Why? Wait. Was it here? No. Maybe you can't do it here? Or am I being very silly? I don't know. Let's Let's check here real quick. Okay. We don't need that ring. A Staff of Confused Monsters. That is nice. Very nice. I need the speed potions. I mean, they're reduced, but they're also from the black market. So they're still a bit pricey, but I guess 500 apiece seems fine. Potion of Constitution for 100,000. I could get that to increase my Constitution and restore it at the same time, but yeah, not for most of my money. I guess I could restore here. Yeah, you know what? At this point, it's probably worth it. Is there anything that needs full identification? Don't think so. We can just stash some things away. Like those mushrooms of fast recovery that I'm realistically not gonna use. Restore life levels. Hasn't happened yet. Oh, Potions of Sight. Why? Wait. Oh no, not get. No, not get. Drop. We want to keep the food, the speed, resist heat and cold, heroism, cure serious, cure critical, curing because our staff is gone, of course, teleportation, word of recall. Right, I want to drop the teleport staff. That's one thing. Detect, Fireball, Frostball. Both of those have come in handy. I do want to keep on holding onto those for the time being. Confuse Monster, of course. It's nice to have back. Enlightenment, Identify. Dependent with Nether Resistance. I mean, again, it's nice to have that at all, but it's also not a very common damage type yet. Plus, it's only a single resistance. In the long term, I definitely can't go for things with single resistances. I feel like anything I equip should have at the very least 2 resistances, or a resistance and something absolutely crucial in addition to it. But yeah, at this rate, it's gonna be tough to have even a single instance of all the resistances, or even close to that. I really don't know how we're gonna do that, but well. Okay, inventory is starting to look a little bit better here. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know what, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and walk over here. Gonna feed ourselves. Might as well rest for the day. Receive prize. Potion of Enlightenment. Wait, hold on. That is literally just... That literally just maps the dungeon, though. Lights permanently and detects all items, right? I mean, yeah, it's nice to have, but it's obviously, not that great. Just cold resistance. Obviously not good enough. Ring of Combat is always tempting, but honestly not for 40,000, and again, not without any resistances. So, thanks but no thanks. What are we looking like quest-wise here? Vapor Quest. I mean... Which one was that? Oh. Yeah, no, I think I know what it is. We do have confusion resistance, which I believe is one of the main issues that you need to be worried about in that place. I mean, we are level 28. How much higher would I want to be before I tackle this, before I feel more confident than I do now? Let's do it. Yeah, okay, it is this quest. We see the shimmering vortex back there. Can we hit it? It's just out of reach, isn't it? That being said, it's a bit... Wait. It's just out of reach, so we can actually hit it. And it's almost dead. Huh? Why did you... What happened? I don't know why it suddenly didn't target the thing anymore. But okay. Gas spore squelches, but isn't destroyed apparently? Frostball 1 is destroyed. Okay. I guess I can snipe some of those things. I probably don't need to do that though. Oh. Did I see the weird fume? I sure did. Should I speed up? Those things can be pretty bad. How bad are these gas spores? Are they bad at all? They're worth surprising amount of experience. You know what? Let's not take this too lightly here. It might not be as bad as I thought somehow, but... Okay, Nexus. I don't have resistance to Nexus. I don't have anything with resistance to Nexus. You get air elementals here, which is lightning. Wait, do we have lightning? Oh wait, we do have electricity resistance. 50%. Could be better. Okay, we destroyed the fumes. Okay, we're sickly. That's fine. Ring. Terrible ring of combat. Reaction. Ring of wizardry. And a slightly less terrible ring of combat, but still not particularly great. Okay. D, R. Yeah, wait, none of those. Maybe we can get a good amulet. One that will actually make me let go of the one that I have. I also have taken some damage. I guess I could just rest here. Yeah, and wait for things to come. Okay, toxic waste. Wait, why is it breathing from over there? I'm still fast. Let's cure. Oh, it's another weird fume. I guess. Okay, they can breathe Nexus or Chaos or Toxic Waste. Alright, good to know. Do they engulf for confusion? Okay. It doesn't say that they resist it, though. Surely that doesn't mean it is immune. Never mind. We just didn't know until now. Okay. Jesus, okay. Yeah, those things are nasty for sure, but we survived. Our speed has run out. Let's... Yeah. Low hit point warning, not that low. Come on, game. There we go, fully healed. Okay, alright. There should still be an air elemental around. But I think that might literally be the last enemy here. Is the quest already complete, actually? No. Elemental and fire. Electric and fire, rather. Devotion, +3. Wisdom. Confusion resistance and reflect. Wait a second. Right, no, never mind. A confusion resistance. I mean, an extra instance of confusion resistance would be super nice, of course. We do have that on our Boots of Levitation. But yeah, the current amulet, of course, does give us the rare disenchantment and the ever so tasty light radius. So unfortunately, that's not gonna cut it, right? I mean, the wisdom would be nice to have. Reflect, I don't know that I've ever really used anything with reflect to great effect. Or, you know, just used anything with reflect for any extended period of time to the point where I really noticed it doing much. Electricity and fire. It is 2 resistances. But again, I suppose maybe there's an argument to be made for this over my current one, because obviously we encounter those 2 resistances, or those 2 elements, all the time, especially fire. Whereas disenchantment might not really show up for some time. I would be losing the light radius, but maybe that is a worthwhile trade-off. Just cold resistance, not good enough. HL, what was that again? Whole life? And blessing. Blessing might not do anything because we're... Wait, no, blessing is literally literally useless, right? Isn't it? Didn't I look that up at some point and learned that it actually really didn't do anything? I don't know. Either way, no resistance here, so I think that is all we need to know. And yeah, I'm gonna put that on, and I'm just gonna be very sad. Oh, there are air elementals here. Kind of forgot about you guys. That explains that. Quest complete. Okay, that wasn't so bad, although, yeah, those fumes are always nasty. And I did lose some things, so, yeah. That's how it tends to go. What's the quest from here? It was Rod of Detection. Is that the thing I'm always waiting for? Old Castle, level 50. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for a while. Rod of Detection. Traps, doors, stairs, treasures, items, and monsters. Okay, so that's my one-stop shop, one-shop stop for all the detection, as you would think. It only has 2 charges, which is not amazing. 3 would be better, but even 2 are typically enough. Now, of course, if we could have a more permanent source of enlightenment, that would be super nice. But yeah, this rod saves us 1 inventory slot, which is already nice. We no longer need separate traps and monsters. We just have this thing now. We're gonna inscribe it. A rod at ZZ. There we go. Okay, very nice. So the quest was definitely worth doing just for that alone. Of course, I will never remember what you get for each quest. So, yeah. But I do know that you get good stuff like that. So, I guess in general it's worth doing the quest whenever you feel like you can. I mean, we could technically go for clear the tunnels on that note, considering that we are higher in level than that. There's gonna be a lot of orcs. It's also less open than the first orc quest, I believe. It's more, I mean, it's literally called Clear the Tunnels, and I seem to vaguely remember the layout, which should allow for a little bit more bottlenecking. We're also down to only 10,000 experience for the next level, so that's nice. I did check all the shops here, right? Yeah. I guess I'm paying 950 for teleporting. I don't know how much cheaper it is for a character with less abysmal charisma, but surely it's less than this, right? It's not close to 1,000. That seems like just so much for something that you're going to be using quite a bit usually. Go Telmora. And okay, Simplicity, confuse monsters. Simplicity would be decent for us perhaps, because we're not great at using magical devices, but also, well, we do have some basic fire resistance now actually, right? Yeah. That's nice. And double electricity is also nice. Acid and cold would be very nice to have, to cover those basic needs. We do have that open ring slot, so I mean, surely we can find something that fits in there nicely. Yeah, I mean, an extra instance of fire resistance, sure, but no, actually. Restore charisma, restore intelligence. Not what we need right now. Do I need more curing? We have 17. We have the Potion of Enlightenment. We're going to use that just somewhere, just to get that out of the way. I guess we can stash away our old ring. Nice as it is. Okay, restoration is just a lot more expensive here. If only I could ever actually remember which place is which. I mean, Thalos is the island. Outpost is obviously, well, the starting outpost. Everything else, though, is kind of unclear. Like Morivant. Which one is that? Is that where I was? Yes. So that was a waste. Pretty much, unless you have new stuff here, because I spent enough time away. Amulet Ivory Flower. 3 Indent Dex, Hold Life, Regen, and Preserve Dex. A Reserve Staff of Enlightenment for 11,000. It's affordable. I don't know that I need it necessarily. Do I pay another 2k to have my constitution restored here? I suppose while I'm here, and I'm pretty sure this is the cheapest part, the cheapest place to do that. It's also only 1900 now? Huh? Wasn't that a little bit more than that? I mean, you certainly didn't get any more charismatic, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm fairly certain it was more expensive. But then again, I've said that before on occasions, and it turned out that I had no idea what I was talking about. So who knows? Nothing here. What am I even looking for? Oh right, actually one of the things I was looking for was the better type of curing potion, cure critical wounds. And of course they don't have that here, but they might have had at other places, and I just was not looking for them. Because I forgot what I set out to do. Okay, we have a ton of restore potions here. Kind of tempting. But also at the same time, I guess we're kind of at the point in the game where we can't just pay for restoration. It's usually enough to do that once in between, you know, any dungeon exploration, if your stats were drained, which usually they end up being, of course. But then you just, you know, go to the place whose name I already forgot again, and just pay 2,000 or however much it is, and you're good to go. And 2,000 is obviously nothing later in the game. Potion of Dexterity. A Potion of Resistance. Darkness and Nether Resistance on the Ring of Protection for 80,000. It's not what we're looking at. What we're looking for right now. Staff of Cure Wounds is kind of nice, but also Staff is gonna get destroyed. It's only 5 charges. It's just not that good. It's also inexpensive. Should I just get that one? I mean, honestly, I probably should. Did that get auto-inscribed? Yes, actually. Okay. Right, the game auto-inscribes that with UU. Which makes sense. But actually, if I double hit this now, it does use that first. Weird. I thought it would default to Enlightenment, probably, because that one's higher up in the list. But apparently that's not how that works. Well, either way, I should inscribe that with something else then. Which might be a little bit tricky in terms of... you know, muscle memory. But I guess I'll just make it UI then. Let's see here. So my enlightenment... I guess I could make it E for enlightenment. That's obviously less convenient to hit. At U... Huh? Inscribe which item? Oh. Didn't I choose that one already? I guess I hadn't. Yeah, at UI, I suppose. Okay. So we need to hit UI for enlightenment and UU for curing. And we need to be out of here. Moribund. Moribund is where you want to go for cheap healing. Moribund. That's a lot of armor on that ring of protection. And it's more disenchantment resistance. Interesting. It's 2 strength and wisdom. Old life illumination and blessing. Do those never come with resistances? Surely they could. Surely they could. I guess we're also technically looking for good boots. Suppose I could be looking for those at actual armor shops. But I feel like the odds of actually finding something good enough to use in there are pretty slim. I was gonna say, also no good peeling potions. No good healing potions in there, but that is not the actual healing potion shop, anyway. Yeah, as expected, nothing that amazing in there. We're looking for critical wounds, and they just don't have that now, of course. I also should have checked the other shop before, so yeah, brain is just, as usual, not willing to fully cooperate with me. It's unfortunate, but that's the kind of relationship we have. Let's see here. Nothing. Critical wounds, 3 of them. Yes, please. G, D, all of those. Thank you. And we got reduced curing. We have... Actually, we don't have that much anymore. Well, it's still a decent amount, but I used to have more. Resistance. Confuse, sleep, scare. Thanks, but no thanks. Combat +1 dex and fear resistance. Really? Potions of speed. Yeah. Should get that. Get those. Did I get those at the other shop actually? Ah, I might not have. I don't think I did. I absolutely should have done that. I don't know. I guess I must have gotten distracted by something. Pretty sure I meant to pick those up back then. The amulets are, of course, they're all, I mean, not all of them, but you know, everything that has a certain number of different bonuses is always worth considering at least, but I mean, not Not that one there, not that Amulet of the Magi. Searching bonus is just not worth enough to consider that. We could look at the arena while we're here. I've also been thinking about that. We have made a couple of levels since, but I think the next thing is something that throws boulders at us. Iron. Oh, it's an iron golem. And again, our combat options are none, or just hit it and hope for the best. In the arena we can't even rely on speed potions or anything, so, or on healing. Is that ever gonna work? Could we potentially kill an iron golem? I don't know. Let's find out, I suppose. Okay. Looks like we can. Drains power from my muscles. Okay, that was way easier than I thought. Barely even took any damage. Okay, carrion crawler. Oh no, we've killed carrions, not carrion crawlers, but still that should be fine. Can paralyze. I hate that, but it's also a 3-shot, so okay. Zyklotlan. I've literally killed one of those before, so I mean, I did. Yeah, it hurt me quite a bit. Just like this one did. Troll Priest. That should not be a problem, but also we should heal first, obviously. Okay, you're gonna teleport all over the place. And for good reason, because apparently you're extremely squishy. Okay. Well, that was just a fight that barely existed. An angel. That shouldn't be impossible. Angel tries to blank your mind, you resist. And the angel has been slain. Detect monsters. No. No longer necessary. Thank you, though. There's only 2 charges, right? Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. I guess I could have just continued the arena quite a bit further, even when I, back when I did the first number of rounds. Although, would I have been able to defeat the Iron Golem at that stage? I don't know, it's possible that it was a good choice to stop when I did. Spirit Naga, I think it's just fine. Immune to confusion. Yes, of course it would be. Mind Blast. Okay. It also is a 3-shot. Barely not a 2-shot. Basilisk. No problem. Okay, we're not even poisoned. What's going on here? Mithril Golem, okay. Now surely Mithril Golem is significantly tougher than an Iron Golem. That being said, that wasn't so bad, so good luck. Golems are, of course, always extremely slow, so... Do we wait until we're no longer dazed? Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, you can kind of kite them around, of course. Like we just did for the tiniest little bit. An acid ball. Could that possibly be better than fire or frost? I don't think so. And there are going to be very few things that are immune to both fire and frost, but not to acid, I think. I'm sure those enemies exist. Well, it's a type of wand, or ball. Yeah, it's a type of ball wand, rather. That sounds awkward. But it's what it is. It's one that we haven't had yet. So I'm going to pick it up and put it in the house and just leave it there for eternity. That's the plan. We have a Shadow Drake. A Shadow Drake? A Shadow Drake. Creates Nether. There goes my life force. And there goes the Shadow Drake. A Wand of Confuse monster with only 4 charges, and it's not resistant, but it's something. You know, having extras never hurts if you can get them back to your stash without too much trouble. Yeah, I'm just gonna put that ball away. Don't need to play around with that. Did I put restore life levels here? I sure did. I wasn't sure, but restore life levels, and just like that we restore however much health I was missing. Not much, surely, but I wasn't even paying attention. Rations of food, we're still full though. Huh? Raving lunatic. Oh, it's right here. Please rave elsewhere. In heaven or hell, I don't care. Ogre Shaman. Summon monsters. Surely they're not going to do that in the arena. Also, that was a one-shot? Hello? Scroll of Acquirement. You don't say. A Biclops. Now, surely that thing can throw. Yep. Which means it's definitely going to do that. It's gonna suck. It also hits very hard, but I think we're gonna kill it here. Wow. Potion of Self-Knowledge. Alright. Yeah, that thing hurt, as expected. Was worth a good amount of experience, though. 2.6k, apparently. Is the next one? It's an Ethereal Drake. I don't think that's worse than a Biclops, typically. Or is it? Let's try. I think we should be able to do this one. It can confuse, though, and terrify and slow. Okay. That sounds very annoying. It tried to cast a spell and failed. I'm blinded. I'm benighted. Uh-oh. Okay. I guessed correctly and hit it. It has damaged us quite a bit, but so have we it. Please never move. Okay. And we've killed it. Whew. Rune of Protection. Right. I'm sure that's nice to have, but, you know, it's an additional inventory slot used up. Halfling Slinger. Now that's just trivial. I'm not sure what this guy is doing in here. Actually, I think he can hit reasonably hard, but that's about it. Yep, that seems to be about it. Less than 5,000 for the next level. That's nice. Elder Thing. You know what? I think this is where I stop. I don't remember exactly how bad those are, but I feel like they're bad. Something tells me that's bad. That certainly sounds bad. Now, acquirements. I should probably drop that for now. I mean, the optimal play, I suppose, is to hoard all of your scrolls of acquirement until you've reached at least floor 98. Right? Is that before the penultimate boss? And then you use all of them there and create almost the most powerful possible items, or with the greatest likelihood of them being, you know, very good, very high level artifacts. But chances are, if you don't use them first, you'll never make it there, right? So in practice, I should use it before that, because I'm never actually going to make it that far. Definitely not on this character. I just don't feel that somehow. I don't know. Yeah, the Rune of Protection, dude. Okay, I am going to drop the scroll requirement for now, because I feel like we haven't even reached level 30 in the dungeon, or in any dungeon. That seems a little bit low. Maybe at level 30 I'm going to consider it. We could always do something like, you know, quickly dip into like a level 40 dungeon that starts at level 40 and just use a scroll there, or maybe ideally several, and hope for something nice, and hope that we don't get eaten by something bad living there. But those dungeons are also typically guarded by dungeon guardians, and I can of course also never remember what those are for each dungeon. But some of them are pretty nasty. Rune of Protection. I mean, Rune of Protection is pretty much just like... it's in the same kind of category for me as, for example, a Fast Recovery Mushroom. It's sure nice to have in a tougher fight. I think the rune just creates a safety zone on the floor, right? That just protects you a little bit. Yeah, it creates a glyph on the floor you stand. On the floor you stand when you read it. It doesn't even say what the glyph does, though. But I mean, of protection sounds pretty self-explanatory. I guess I'll keep it with me. We do have the Potion of Self-Knowledge. I guess I also want to remind myself exactly what that... No, actually I know what that does. It literally just tells you your character information. Do we need to know it now? I suppose one thing that does is tell you your stat maximums and your life rating, and if you're not happy with that, then you could use a new life potion. But of course I got rid of mine, didn't I? Or did I actually put them in here? I did not. Yeah. I mean, what I usually just end up doing is drink this thing. Oh, never mind, that did work. I thought I drank the wrong thing because it didn't ask me for confirmation, but I suppose it just doesn't for this. Limits of maximum stats. I mean, honestly, they all seem amazing, right? Isn't that all really good? What's the absolute maximum? Is the absolute maximum 18,120? I guess in that case... Oh, no, it's still really good. Like, I don't think it's guaranteed or that common that a character has all 18/something anyway, right? And honestly, if we could get our stats to those values ever, including the ones that are currently sitting at 3, that would be absolutely amazing. I guess if I were to play long enough, I would just be getting enough stat increasing potions to eventually get there. But yeah, even getting somewhat close would of course be nice. Yeah, strength is eventually going to max out. But oh well, life rating is 49 out of 76, which is significantly above the halfway point. So yeah, we probably wouldn't want to re-roll that, because we're likely gonna end up with less. Okay. Anyway, well, that was somewhat interesting, I guess. I don't know, I guess I don't use these frequently enough. Or when I do, I don't really pay attention enough to really know for sure if those maximum stats are so much better than they are for your typical character. My god. I don't see why they would be that much better, but I don't know. Could be. We have the Enlightenment still. The Rune of Protection. Right. Everything else is things we want to keep. Is that true, though? Do we want to actually keep the Cure The cure wounds. Wait, yeah, we do. No, never mind. I'm just being silly. Just being silly, but also... Okay, heals... Heal 47, actually. Okay, right. Cure wounds heals a fixed amount. And cures cuts. Okay, right. That's something I used to know. It does only have 5 charges. Still pretty good, though. Cure critical wounds heals 12d8. Okay. That is quite good. It's potentially quite good. And it also cures stunning, cuts, and berserk. That is really interesting. Huh. Serious heals, cures berserk, and reduces cuts. Okay. So the secondary effects of the healing potions also get better as they heal more. Alright, okay. Good to regain that lost knowledge that I certainly had at some point. And did I check here? Probably. We still don't have that ring. I mean, obviously it's very silly to not use that slot. But also, I don't really need to force it. We're just gonna find something eventually. Where do we want to go next? Well, I guess I probably want to do the Tunnels quest, because that seems doable enough. And as we established earlier, quests do tend to give you nice rewards. Maybe that's true for this one. That being said, I feel like, I mean, yeah, I do tend to make these videos longer, often quite a bit longer than this. But honestly, an hour 17 is plenty, and you know, I'm planning to keep doing these for the foreseeable future. I don't have any specific plans to stop after this character. There's so many more to explore. In fact, I recently went through a list of Angband variants and picked up every single one that sounded interesting. And it's a very long list. Many of them sound not that interesting to me. Some of them are like multiplayer or focus on on one specific aspect of the game that I don't really care that much about. But there are a good number that sound really fascinating at the very least. And so I got those. I got a whole lot of those. And the vague plan that I have for sometime in the future, I'm really not sure when I'm ever going to get around to that. Because I also don't really want to stop doing this FrogComposband, you know, explore all of the different, at least all of the even remotely interesting sounding monster races. You know, and we still have only barely scratched the surface here. There's so many more. So yeah, I do want to continue that one. Maybe I'm going to kind of alternate doing a run or a series of runs with a monster class in FrogComposband, and then check out one of the other Angband variants. I also kind of want to do at least one episode of Moria, the granddaddy of Angband and all its variants, which I did play at some point. I recently got reminded of its existence and got the latest version and played it quickly, played a character, and it's basic. It's very recognizably the ancestor of this game and all the other variants, but it's also so much more limited. And it's completely monochrome, which is honestly the toughest thing for me. It's so nice to have certain things color-coded. It makes it so much easier to see things at a glance. When everything's just the same color, it's so tough. You have to do a whole lot more actual reading constantly, and it's just kind of tiring, and it makes it way easier to just miss something, even easier than it already is. So yeah, that one's always gonna be rough, and you know, it's definitely not something I would ever choose to play over one of the more modernized, more, you know, the more convenient to play variants of it. But it's certainly interesting to see where it all began, you know, and I'm definitely willing to do that. I'm very interested in doing that for at least one, you know, special episode. I guess we're kind of approaching the 200th episode in this insane series here that's been running for 9 years, by the way. Yeah, I don't know how close we are. Is this 180 something, or am I hallucinating? Is it only 140? Well, either way, I mean, it doesn't have to be a like anniversary episode at all. It could just be any random one, and maybe it's going to be. So look forward to that, I guess, and all of those things. I feel like there's a lot of potential for discovering, at the very least, interesting things by exploring all of those. I mean, many of those variants are just kind of early versions, long abandoned, never fully fleshed out. But you know, I picked a bunch that that add just some new classes, or a lot of new classes in many cases, and races and whatnot. You know, things that we should be able to just pick right off the bat and just give a shot, similar to how we're exploring all of these interesting and varied monster classes, hopefully. Yeah, and some of it just flavored interestingly, like sci-fi flavor, Cthulhu flavor, anime flavor, you name it. There's one in particular that sounded particularly interesting. Unfortunately, that's literally the only one in the list that I couldn't find a compiled version of. And I've never actually compiled a program. At least I don't think I have. It's always been a bit, I don't know, scary. You know, I'm just a casual Windows user, so I've never really had to do that. But I'm sure it can be done. I'll see if I can get that particular one to run. It's only a very early version, but it sounds very, very intriguing, and I would like to give that one a shot. I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm going to keep it a bit mysterious, perhaps. I mean, you can find the list I'm talking about, and look at it yourself, and try to take a guess at which one I might be talking about, or just literally go through the list and find out which one is only available as a source. But that would be kind of lame. No, you can still do that. Anyway, I'm just rambling here. I'm going to end this one right here. We're going to do what now? All right, the tunnel. Yes, probably next time. And then, well, we'll see if that kills me, and if it doesn't, we'll find something else to do. For now, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.